You've probably seen images like these before. They often appear in video compilations on YouTube or Instagram, or as looping GIFs on Reddit, often under the heading, oddly satisfying. They're also incredibly popular, amassing millions of views and counting. But unlike a number of other YouTube genres whose popularity seems self-evident, the popularity of oddly satisfying videos is a bit harder to explain. We see hypnotic movements of factory machines, the precise manual gestures of woodworking, close-ups of hands playing with homemade slime. Why are seemingly unrelated and often banal images like these so attractive to the eye? And why are they so wildly popular today at this point in the 21st century? It turns out that the internet has already provided some tentative answers to this question. In a brief blog entry for Discover magazine, Nathaniel Scharping explains that the oddly satisfying gives us what psychologists have called a just right feeling, a pleasure derived from the sensation of order that is thought to be imbalanced in those with obsessive-compulsive disorder. Scharping draws on remarks from behavioral neuroscientist Sarah Keedy, who writes that oddly satisfying images yield rewarding experiences that people with OCD tend to be going for to a pathological degree. A similar but more precise explanation is offered in the popular science YouTube channel SciShow Psych, where YouTube educator Hank Green explains that watching these videos might cause the same reaction in your brain as completing a goal in real life. Consider just how many of these clips involve the completion of a small task with almost mechanical perfection, or in Green's words, getting something just right. As Green explains, when you finish a task, your brain releases dopamine,
a chemical that plays an important role in your brain's reward and pleasure circuits. In other words, getting stuff done literally feels good.
What this explanation doesn't account for, though, is why millions of people are consuming the surrogate satisfaction of getting stuff done today, in the 21st century, through the medium of the internet. In their attempt to come up with universal explanations for various kinds of human experience, theories based on psychology tend to de-emphasize the role that social and historical context might play in deeply human phenomena like pleasure or satisfaction. Certainly, the satisfaction of oddly satisfying videos somehow feels natural, as if images of perfectly sliced tomatoes or impeccably frosted cakes activate a deep need or desire in your brain that you didn't realize you had. But what if there's more to it than just biology? In her article Visual Pleasure and GIFs, media scholar Anna McCarthy, like Green and Scharping, finds that oddly satisfying images yield a satisfaction in seeing tasks completed with perfection, precision, and effortlessness. But she adds a crucial dimension, arguing that these images satisfy us at least partly because of our relationship to labor in the 21st century. Specifically, in their depiction of effortlessly completed tasks, oddly satisfying videos satisfy our desire to feel productive, even while we're not working. In McCarthy's words, the satisfying GIF taunts the hapless spectator, mired in multiple tasks, by showing off what a process looks like when executed elegantly. And this desire to feel productive, as McCarthy explains, is especially powerful for those who earn their paychecks by working on computer screens, a domain where the satisfaction of completing a task is almost always interrupted by an endless stream of distractions. Oddly satisfying images then give us a break from work, but maintain and foster the desire to be perfectly productive, in other words, to work efficiently. In this way, McCarthy argues, oddly satisfying images are similar to corporations' widespread adoption of the rhetoric of wellness and self-care. In her words, oddly satisfying images are homespun versions of the wellness programs corporate workplaces offer to soothe employees' souls and boost productivity simultaneously. They do for the brain what the nimble-fingered corporate masseuse does for the neck muscles. All of this is to say that while the oddly satisfying might tap into some hardwired attraction to images of order or the elegant completion of tasks, it's difficult to ignore all the ways in which these allegedly hardwired attractions are perfectly consistent with a capitalist worldview that places productivity at the very center of our lives. In this light, we might examine other internet genres in a similar way. We can see a similar set of social values in lifehack videos, which display tricks or shortcuts used to increase efficiency in everyday life, Unlike oddly satisfying videos, lifehack videos are explicitly about productivity. They transform the ubiquitous but culturally specific desire to be productive, not just in labor, but in ordinary life, into an entertaining game of cleverly transforming everyday objects in new and unexpected ways. For a less explicit example, consider the wildly popular ASMR video, which, like the oddly satisfying, purports to give users a deeply sensory, physiological pleasure through carefully crafted images and sounds that trigger what's known as autonomous sensory meridian response. As Racheal Fest argues, this rhetoric of physiological response conceals the ways that ASMR videos reinforce and maintain particular elements of capitalist society, be it through the commodities displayed in these videos as trigger devices, through the monetization of attention inherent to YouTube as a platform, or more deeply, through ASMR's language of self-care, a discourse that encourages each individual's responsibility for our own physical and mental well-being. In Fest's words, when ASMR media present itself as a mode of self-care, it perpetuates the notion that sufferers can best respond to our contemporary crisis by changing individual habits, by purchasing commodities, seeking out wellness services, or performing basic domestic activities, rather than by transforming through collective action the conditions that threaten many. Of course, the central means of self-care that ASMR videos promote is watching more ASMR videos, which is deeply ironic given how much the rhetoric of self-care, and often these videos themselves, encourage us to turn away from our screens.
Just look at something that isn't a screen. I know it's tempting to look at your phone, but...
Both ASMR and oddly satisfying videos then, despite the genuine therapy they might provide, heal us through the very instruments that cause us harm. Our obsession with work and productivity on the one hand, and our addiction to screens on the other. It's further evidence for the fact that, in the information age, when most of us turn to our devices for work and for relaxation, the line between labor and leisure is more blurred than it's ever been before.